And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance, and boxing fans joining us around the world, it's
feel like that with his skill level and his level of experience, whatever Jason brought to the table, we should be able to handle, and that's the only word I'm just disappointed. I really am. I'm very, 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 very disappointed. For me being able to go to sleep at night and for what I believe Julian is at, he got to get that loss the fuck back, Mike. And I don't care who don't like this. He got to fight that kid again. He got to knock that kid out. And if he don't, I'm going to be disappointed in him. And I've made it as clear as I can, and I don't know if it's going to be next or whatever. He got to get that kid back. He cannot go out in his career and losing to that kid. I'm just sorry. Jamal Charlo, I can accept that a little bit. That guy might go to the Hall of Fame. We could say we was a little young at the time. He caught Jordan with a great shot. This fight, I can't stomach that. I'm serious. I just can't.
What's good, fam? Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide, where we talking nothing but this boxing, man. Now, what you just heard was audio from Stephen Breadman Edwards, Stephen Edwards, man, the trainer of Julian Jrock Williams. He's talking about the fight in which Julian Williams was defeated by Jeison Rosario a couple weeks back. He lost his IBF and WBA and IBO light middleweight titles. It was a big upset. It was a big surprise to a lot of people. No one picked Rosario to beat Julian Williams. It was supposed to be a what's going on, Clabo? Appreciate you, fam. It was just supposed to be a tune-up fight, man. It was supposed to be a tune-up and a homecoming. They were in Philadelphia, man. Jrock was just supposed to show off. You know what I'm saying? He was just supposed to show off on this kid, Rosario. But as we all know, that was not the case, man. Rosario pulled off the upset. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much as, people thought Jarrett Hurd, in his hometown of Washington, D.C., they thought he was just going to walk over Julian Williams. And, lo and behold, Williams was able to pull off the victory. Now, granted, Williams, wasn't a big underdog as Rosario, but people still expected her to win the fight. You understand what I'm saying? Rosario, no one really knew much about Rosario. You know what I'm saying? I seen a couple fights of Rosario's. He fought the Spanish kid that was on the Contender. I can't think of his name right now. It was a back and forth matchup, man. Really good fight. And I think Rosario ended up getting a stoppage, if I'm not mistaken, man. He ended up getting a stoppage. Rosario, is known to be heavy-handed. His record now improves to 20-1. That lone loss comes to Nathan Gallimore, where he was knocked out by Gallimore. We know Gallimore can punch. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that Rosario, he's only, 24 years old? He got knocked out by Gallimore 2 years ago, 2017. What was he, 21, 22 years old? So he's still young, man. He's still learning. He's still developing, man. But Stephen Edwards, man, he didn't hold nothing back. He stated that there's no way that Jrock should be losing to a guy like Rosario. You know what I'm saying? He's just not on his level. You know what I'm saying? And he said that he will be very disappointed in Jrock if he don't knock out Rosario in the rematch. Now, after the fight, Jrock said that there will be immediate rematch. There was a rematch clause in the contract. And, he wanted to get that back, man. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, a lot of people was talking about the size, how much bigger Rosario was than, Jrock. I don't think he was all that much bigger. You know what I'm saying? Jrock's listed at 5'10". Rosario's listed at 5'11". Jrock even have a 2.5 reach advantage over him, with a 72.5 inch reach. Rosario got a 70-inch reach. You know what I mean? So, J-Rock's jab was a little longer than Rosario's. You know what I'm saying? According to BoxRec, he was only an inch shorter than Rosario. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't think the size factor really played as much as a lot of people are letting on. I think, the cut early on to J-Rock's eye, I think that played a big part. When a fighter gets cut early or gets knocked down early, the first thing they want to do is get that back, man. You know what I'm saying? And a cut, I think that might have been J-Rock's first time really getting cut. And it happened early. You know what I'm saying? It happened in front of his hometown. Everybody, when you have a hometown fight, everybody you ever known is there. Everybody's there, man. You know what I'm saying? Your second grade best friend is there. Your homie from down the street that you used to play ball with. Your first girlfriend. Everybody you known is there when you fighting at home, man. You know what I'm saying? And J-Rock was at home. He was embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? He was cut early, you know what I mean? That cut was a bad. It was a bad cut. It was leaking into his eye, you know what I'm saying? And I think from there he hit the panic button. You know what I'm saying? He was bewildered. Really didn't settle down and calm down and get into a rhythm. He couldn't get into a rhythm because of the cut. You know what I'm saying? And Rosario, he just took advantage of J-Rock's, disorientation and went to wailing on him. Now we all know J-Rock's chin is not the best. You know what I'm saying? He's been knocked out before by Jamal Charlo, and, he was unsure of himself coming back. But he had to work his way back up, and that he did. Even in the Nathan Gallimore fight when Williams fought him, you could tell that he was still a little gun shy in that fight. You know what I'm saying? He still was unsure of himself. But after he got that victory with Gallimore, he got his confidence back. You know what I'm saying? He got his confidence back, and he was ready to get busy, man. You know what I mean? He was ready to get busy and take on the world, and he went into D.C., into Jarrett Hurd's hometown, and put on the performance of a lifetime, the performance of his life. I did not expect J-Rock to go in there and put on a performance like that against Hurd, man. You know what I'm saying? I thought Hurd was going to dust J-Rock off. You know what I'm saying? I thought it would be a competitive fight, but I thought Hurd would do what Hurd always do. You know what I'm saying? Walk his fighter down, bully him, and beat him up and get him out of there, man. But J-Rock was having none of it. And credit to him, man. He did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Credit to J-Rock. He did his thing against Hurd. You know what I'm saying? But to me, J-Rock always has been a little cocky. You know what I'm saying? Has been a little arrogant, especially leading up to the Charlo fight, man. He was doing a lot of talking, man. Talking about they was on steroids, talking about Charlo was ducking him. Charlo wanted to make the move to 160, and J-Rock wanted to get a crack at Charlo before he moved up, man. He was calling out boy all type of names, man. You know what I'm saying? He was going below the belt, talking all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? And when Charlo finally got his hands on him, finally knocked him out, J-Rock had to eat not a slice of humble pie. He had to eat a whole humble pie, man. And he was humble. He was humble for a few fights. You know what I'm saying? He was humble, respectable. I started liking him again. You know what I'm saying? I said, okay, this kid, he was young. He's young. I think J-Rock's 29? I think he's about 29 now. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, he probably was about 26. You know what I mean? I'm still a young kid, still a little bit immature. So I chalked it up to that. You know what I mean? But he got into the ring, with Rosario. He was a little, I believe, overconfident just by the way he was talking. After he won the titles from Hurd, he just started, he putting out there that anybody that wants to fight me has to sign up for VADA 3 months ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? He started putting all these stipulations now that he was champion, which is okay, but it's just the way that he was going about it, man. He seemed a little arrogant, seemed a little cocky, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. That rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, man. And the things he was saying about Hurd would never beat him, and, just a lot of things he was saying led a lot of people to believe, okay, this is that cocky J-Rock that we seen before the Charlo fight. You know, he think he's the man, and everybody got to bow down and listen to him. You know what I'm saying? So I think I really think he overlooked Jason Rosario. I think he overlooked him. You know, he was looking for unification. From what I understand, PBC already had lined up a Jermell Charlo unification fight for sometime this year. You know, should Jrock get past Jason Rosario, which was he was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Which was a foregone conclusion. Everybody thought he was going to get past Jason Rosario. You know, before Jason Rosario won, nobody gave him a shot. This kid's a bum. Why is Julian Williams fighting him? This and that. Now that he defeated Jrock, all of a sudden he's a world beater. Everybody, Rosario's a beast. Rosario punch hard. Oh, Jrock them, they made a mistake by picking Rosario. They didn't know what they was getting their hands into. You know what I'm saying? All this type of talk right there. But before he won, he was a bum. Everybody called him a bum. Everybody written him off. Now that he upset the apple cart, and all of a sudden everybody calling him a world beater. Oh, he's this, he's that. You know, he's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? I think, this is my opinion, you know, taking no credit away from Jason Rosario, because he did what he was supposed to do. He went in there and fought the fight. He beat the champion. You know what I'm saying? My opinion, he caught Jrock slipping, man. He caught Jrock slipping. Jrock was overlooking the dude, man. Smash the like button for me, fam. Hit the like button as you come on in. I appreciate it. In my opinion, Jrock overlooked Rosario. He overlooked him. He was at home. He wanted to show off. And, you know, he got caught slipping, man. You know, he got caught slipping. But for those of you who came in a little late, Jrock's trainer, Stephen Breadman Edwards, he did an interview with Mike Woods. And he talked about how he was very disappointed in Julian Williams for losing to a guy like Rosario. And if he don't get this win back, if he do not knock Rosario out in the rematch, he'll be even more disappointed. I want y'all to listen to this audio by Stephen Breadman Edwards. For this is for the guys who came in a little late, for those that missed it. Check it out.
Like that with his skill level and his level of experience, whatever Jason brought to the table, you know, we should be able to handle, you know, and that's the only word I'm just disappointed. You know, I really am. I'm very, 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 very disappointed. For me, being able to go to sleep at night, and for what I believe Julian is at, he got to get that loss the fuck back, Mike. And I don't care who don't like this. He got to fight that kid again. He got to knock that kid out. You know, and if he don't, I'm going to be disappointed in him. And I've made it as clear as I can. You know, and I don't know if it's going to be next or whatever. He got to get that kid back. He cannot go out in his career and losing to that kid. I'm just sorry. You know, Jamal Charlo, I can accept that a little bit. You know, that guy might go to the Hall of Fame.
Again, that was the trainer of Julian Jrock Williams, Stephen Breadman Edwards, you know, stating that, you know, Julian Williams was not supposed to lose to Jason Rosario in his mind. You know what I'm saying? In his mind, he is not on the level of Jrock. And, you know, he can't sit well with that. That L is not sitting well with that, with Breadman. He says Jrock got to get in there and go in there and knock dude out in the rematch, or he going to be very disappointed in him. You know what I'm saying? He talked about how, you know, there's no excuses. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuses. But he kind of, in the interview, he kind of speculated that Jrock was a little sick coming into the fight. I think they said something like there's rumors that he had 103 temperature the week of the fight. But, you know, Edwards was talking about how, you know, he's not going to make excuses, because once you decide to fight, all them excuses out the door. You cannot use those excuses. All those excuses go out the door because you chose to fight. You chose to knuckle up and get in this ring and throw down, man. So you cannot use excuses. He talked about how no fighter goes into the ring 100%. You know, every fighter has some type of ailment, some type of injury going into a fight. So he didn't want to use any excuse, you know what I'm saying? But he said that, you know, should Julian J. Rock Williams revenge his loss, then maybe himself he can talk about it. But Edwards said he wasn't going to talk about it. But apparently something was going on in that camp leading up to the fight. Something was going on with Williams leading up to the Rosario fight, and they're saying he wasn't 100%. You may buy it, you may not buy it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it has any bearing on him losing the fight, man. Like I said, he overlooked Rosario and got caught slipping. He got cut early and was bewildered, was disoriented, did not know how to adjust, man. Didn't, he did not get into a rhythm because of the cut. And you could see him by the way he was pawing at that eye. He kept pawing. When did that cut happen? The second round? You know what I'm saying? The second round, he couldn't get into a rhythm, and Rosario, he was just landing the punches that he needed to land. In my opinion, Jrock should have been, boxing off his jab, using that lateral movement, going in, coming out, Instead, he wanted to mix it up Rosario. He wanted to mix it up. He wanted to get in the inside and bang with him, and that proved to be to his detriment. But his trainer, I like his trainer. I like Breadman's attitude, man. I like his attitude. Because myself, taking nothing away from Rosario, I do not think Rosario is an elite super welterweight. I just don't see it. I don't see him beating Jermell Charlo. I don't see him beating Tony Harrison. I don't see him beating Jarrett Hurd, and I didn't see him beating Julian J. Rock Williams. You know what I'm saying? But I always said, man, I never, Julian J. Rock Williams got elite skill. No question about it. He got skill. But he does not have an elite chin, in my opinion, man. You know what I'm saying? Sort of like Tommy Hearns, man. Tommy Hearns had elite skill, but he did not have an elite chin. And when he fought the right fighters who landed that punch on that chin, he got found out, man. He was exposed, man, and went to sleep. Same thing with Jrock, man. You know what I'm saying? He's always going to have that chin problem. No matter how much skills he have, you know what I'm saying? If he do not box the right fight, he's going to lose because that chin is always suspect. You know what I'm saying? He can box on the, use his jab and use his movement and box smart, stick to the game plan and stay focused. You got to be focused for the full 12 rounds. You got to be mentally strong, man. You know what I'm saying? And Jrock, he had a mental lapse because I believe because of that cut. You know what I'm saying? But do I think Jrock can bounce back? I know he can because he did it before. I know he can. And should he have a rematch with Jason Rosario, I believe Jrock will win the rematch. I do believe he can outbox Rosario easily, in my opinion. But he got to get into a rhythm, and he got to be comfortable, and he got to listen to his trainer. You know what I'm saying? That's the bottom line, man. If you go in there and try to slug it out with him, the same result going to happen. Man. But I like Breadman's approach to this. You know what I'm saying? I like how, that's like tough love. When you make excuses for your fighter, he's able to accept the loss. You know what I'm saying? If he tells Jrock, yeah, you were sick, man. Maybe we know you were sick. Jrock, he's sitting well because he know that he was sick. So he's able to accept the loss. By Breadman saying, no, I'm disappointed. You was not supposed to lose to this guy. You wasn't supposed to lose to Rosario. And if you don't knock him out in the rematch, if you don't win the rematch, I'm going to be highly disappointed in you. Now Jrock sitting back thinking like, damn, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go in there and redeem that. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuses being accepted. No excuses being accepted. You know what I'm saying? I think Jrock will win the rematch. But I think he gonna have, problems at the elite level, man, with punchers like Erickson Lubin, man, punchers like Jermell Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Even in a rematch with Jarrett Hurd, I would favor Hurd. I think Jrock, in his win over Hurd, I think that was a once in a lifetime performance. I mean, everything was working. He was working on all cylinders. You know what I mean? I don't know if he can put that type of performance back on, man. But listen, man, Jrock, I think he could bounce back. I think he'll bounce back, and he'll be a contender. at the super welterweight division, man. But you know, when he come across, you know, Jamel Charlo and Tony Harrison and Erickson Lubin, those guys that can punch, I don't know how well he would fare, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how well he would fare. But you know, you can never count anybody out in the sport of boxing. I just think that Jrock is definitely a better boxer than Jason Rosario. Taking nothing away from Rosario, he came in and he fought his fight. You know what I'm saying? He won the fight. You know, he cut him and he took advantage of him, man. Shout out to him, the new unified super welterweight champion. You know, shout out to him. But we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully there's an immediate rematch, and we'll see if Jrock can get it back. But listen, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. For those of y'all catching this live, those of y'all catching it on the replay, man, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share this video. And if you on social media, catch me on Instagram. Catch me on Twitter at Big Faces Worldwide, all one word. But in the meantime and in between time, stay blessed and keep on supporting this sport that we love called boxing. Peace. I'll holler back.